come to visit one of our 3 of our long incarcerated cadres, Morgan Komish, the vice chairman of the party, last Mayenga Ama, it's obvious that this long incarceration is demoralizing, not only to them and their families, but also the spurious charges that they are facing puts a very serious dent in our justice system. I hope the lawyers will succeed in giving them bail, but some of them, like last, has been there for almost 2 years, and I'm very disappointed. Oh, they are very high. They are very high. It's actually, instead of me giving them motivation, they were actually motivating me in return. So their spirits really indicate the high spirits that they are committed to the struggle. They encourage us to continue with the struggle. And that's the message that they are passing on.
Did they say anything concerning the conditions under which they are?
No, they didn't raise any complaints as far as the conditions. Obviously, the question of incarceration without any basis has an impact on your family. We are just opening schools, and they don't know what the state of their school children is going to be. But especially Morgan Komish, who instead of incarcerating Zek, they are incarcerating a person who is now the victim. Anyway, yes. Any other question?
Do you have any reaction to the SADC report?
I've been advised of the so-called final report, but the final report is not different from the initial endorsement of the elections. What I failed to read in the report is first and foremost that in Maputo, SADC was very clear that certain conditions and certain reforms are necessary before a free and fair and credible election will be conducted. And secondly, SADC has got guidelines. They don't even make reports about those guidelines, whether our election passed the test of those benchmarks. They don't even make that reference. So, and I'm actually disappointed that certain narratives that are coming out of the report indicate a ZANU-PF narrative. For instance, how does a report, an observer talk about pirate radios? How do you talk about sanctions? And that the opposition is claiming, is campaigning for sanctions, and that's why they lost the election. So I think there's nothing new. They've endorsed. This is a mere endorsement of what they initially endorsed. So there's nothing surprising.
So where to MDC in terms of the diplomatic challenge? You had said that's one of your...
we'll be visiting them. We'll be visiting the chairman of SADC, the chairman of the Troika, the facilitator, just to say, perhaps you arrived at this conclusion erroneously. Whether they're going to review it, that's neither here nor there. But what I want to do is to engage SADC. We can't avoid engaging SADC on the facts on the ground. Whether that will have their effect, that's a different matter.
But in terms of the national executive of the MTCT was meeting last week to strategize the way forward. Yeah. There seems to be a crisis of expectation amongst the people. The people were thinking, maybe we'll have an Egypt here. Where is MDC going to?
Why should we have an Egypt? And why should the MDC craft an Egypt-style revolution? I've said before that you don't act in emotion, you act with conviction. That's a more sustainable basis than to act in emotion. And I believe further consultation with the people will actually reveal that the struggle has to continue, but it has to continue in a more of conviction rather than emotion. People want instant coffee. They want instant solution to their plight. The whole nation is in national mourning. They want instant solution. But unfortunately, in the nature of a struggle where we are fighting a dictator using democratic means, it's not as instant as they expect. And I am sure that they have to budget even for a long haul. But what they should never do is to give up on the struggle. And the people of Zimbabwe, I'm so proud. They've been resilient for all these years. And that's what we should all aim for. That's the strategic national objective. Yes. Okay?
So should we be looking at 2018? The party is reassembling for 2018?
No. We don't plan for 2018. We plan for every eventuality. We are there with the people. We are there on the ground. And that's what we need to focus on. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.